let me begin. What a life! What a book! Of course, what a life before that. I want to ask you about redemption. I think that's the central world of the title of your book, and maybe the central concept or idea of your life,
Yeah.
redemption. Can you tell me a little bit about redemption?
You know what? I honestly believe that the only way that you can receive uh, blessings from within, I don't mean monetarily, I don't mean money or fame, but I think everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. Everything. I've never walked down the street and found $1,000. It doesn't happen, but every time I'm helping somebody, something good happens. And I honestly believe that's one of the only ways that Diosito wants us to live is being of service to our fellow man.
Okay. When did you discover this? Would you say there's like a before and after in your life?
It's amazing, but when I got out of prison in 1969, I was standing outside of my mom's house, outside of my house, and I was trying to figure out. Okay, I made a promise to God that I would do whatever I could for my fellow man every day, and I will say his name every day. And I'm standing there wondering, well, what can I do? I've robbed everybody in this neighborhood. I've broke into everybody's house and garage. And I just happened to see this one lady, una viejita, pulling her trash out because in 1969, they didn't have the big kind of trash cans that you roll.
Yeah.
You used to put everything in a tina, todo garbage, and they throw it all in the truck. And so I seen her struggling to pull this tina out. So I went to help her. And I remember her words were, Danny, no me robas. Cállate, vieja. And I grabbed the can from her and I pulled it out. And then I went back to get the other can and in her backyard, but she never took her eyes off me. She knew that I was going to run for the garage and steal something. But I brought the can out, and that's what I started doing. I just started taking the older people's trash out in my mom's neighborhood, and it made me feel good, first of all. Secondly, about 3 weeks later, as I took out every Sunday, because Monday was trash day, I walked into my mom's house and there was a clothing bag. And I said, Mom, what's this? She says, El viejito with the real bad arthritis, in his hands. He had to no tenía familia, but he would kick his can out, his trash. And I was always taking his trash out, and I'd pick up his yard a little bit right there. And he gave me a fake suede, double-breasted blazer.
Okay.
Very popular in 1969. Don't laugh, okay? But probably about $49. But I'll never forget that. And I thought, you know what? It's como se dice, karma. That's this is what happens, and it's not how do you say it? It's not you have to do things for other people and not expect a reward. Just do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting a jacket or I wasn't expecting a present, but I found that when I came out of my mom's house in la mañana, people, hi, Mr. Trejo, ¿cómo estás? Bien, and I was hoping, I hope they don't ask me for money, but people became nicer, people became more just nice. And so that's the way I've lived my life. And everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. I got into the gardening business helping somebody. I got into the movie business helping somebody. You know what I mean? I got into the restaurant business helping somebody. It just keeps on coming. You know? I started a record label trying to help this lady and her daughter. And honest to God, he's like, you know, record label's doing good. I got a record called Chicano Soul Shop Volume 1, and now we're doing Trejo's Soul Classics, you know, another volume. I got 3 singers that needed some help, and now I got one singer that looks exactly like Selena, sings like her. She could be like a Selena impersonator.
Yeah, what you do to others, it will come back to you.
Oh yeah. And you know, we went to I took my singers to Long Beach, donde están todos los chavalos that have come across the border. And they were all like, mira, se parece Selena. But the staff there was saying that they haven't even laughed since they've been there. And they were laughing and screaming and dancing. And so it was such a joy. And again, it was like, when you do something good for someone else, you feel good, you know. And so today I feel good about myself, you know.
Danny, you're a famous tough guy. You've done hundreds of roles in movies. I would say you're also a tough guy in real life. I mean, reading your book, I know that. What would you say it's been harder, Hollywood or real life?
Real life is as hard as you make it. You know what I mean? It's as hard as you make it. There was a good friend of mine, camarada named Eddie Bunker. And what he said is the whole world can think you're a movie star, but you can't. You know, it's like you have to disarm people immediately because of the way you look. Pareces malo. You look like a bad guy. So what he said, you have to say hello before they do. Because el hombre, el machismo que tenemos, the minute you see another guy, you pop up, you mira, okay, you know, right away, you know. So hey, ¿cómo estás? I said, yeah, hasta los cholos, all the little gangsters, when they see me, I go, hey, how are you? Oh, bien, señor. You know what I mean? Because it's not about being tough, it's about being friendly. There ain't nobody tougher than a bullet anyway. You know what I mean? And so you just have to, like I said, I put my hands up immediately. ¿Cómo están? You know, and it works.
I have to ask you about your relationship with Mexico, your ties with this other country of yours. What do you have to say about Mexico today, and how do you feel about it?
I love Mexico. We went down there. I've been down for a few premieres of my movies. We went down to for the premiere of Machete. I remember that, and I took my son. They actually treated us like the Beatles. I mean, it was like unbelievable. We had such fans, you know, and it was so beautiful. And having people, mariachis, sing outside my window, and I felt like I was getting married. You know? And
we know how to celebrate.
I'm like, man, esposas tan lindas. You know, it's beautiful. Like, you know, I have a culture, you know, that is just absolutely beautiful. You know, we go way back to the Aztecs, you know, and so it's so funny. It's like I can remember when who was it that landed in Mexico? They discovered Mexico, and I could see los indigenous people there saying, "Hey, we're about to be discovered." We've been here long before anybody.
Yeah. Danny, this is a books magazine, and you have written a splendid memoir.
Mm.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with books and reading.
Well, you know what? Cuando estás incarcerated, when you're in prison, it's like you do a lot of reading. You know what I mean? And books are an escape. You see, Vato Walker, they're escaping. You know, it's an escape. And for me, movies were an escape. And when estaba en el hoyo, when I was in the hole, I used to play movies in my head. You know that I was like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. You know, give me those shoes, Dorothy. I used to, I used to like play the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I loved movies. I love old movies. I love the Cisco Kid and Pancho. I love the first Latino. I think that really made it big in the movies was I think he was Cubano. I don't know, but era ¿cómo se llama? Pedro González González. He was a John Wayne's sidekick and John Wayne's friend. And I remember seeing him, and thinking, well, mira, and I think it kind of showed me that anybody can do this. He was a short little, I was just short and no talent, but he was talented as hell. You know what I mean? For what he did. And so I love movies since I was young.
And talking about movies, is there a role you haven't played that would be like your dream role?
No, you know what? To me, movies are like I'm like a house painter. I don't care what house I have to paint. Did the check clear?
Yeah.
And that's what I do. So I honestly believe that like, I don't give me what you got, and I paint this house, I paint that house, I fix this plumbing, I fix that plumbing, este carro. That's what I do. And I got more movies than anybody. I think 300 and some movies. And
wow.
But a lot of those, I have to say, is that are favors. I did a student film. I did a student film for college kids that wanted to. I did a film for the Latino Film Festival. They weren't, but their credits, not a lot of money, but
Yeah, we're about to finish. You are famous, you are beloved. Aquí en México se te quiere y admira mucho. What would you say to young people struggling right now, a little bit confused, maybe in trouble, whatever? What would you say to them?
Don't give up. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you end. And for me, it's like, I haven't stopped. I'm 77 years old. I have not stopped. I'm still enjoying my life. Since I stopped using drugs, alcohol, started doing good for other people, my whole life changed. And that's my favorite saying is, I would rather shoot for the moon and miss than aim for the calle and make it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Maybe just one more question.
Okay.
You have used Hollywood. Hollywood has used you. How is that relationship with fame? What is your idea of fame?
I think all fame did was give me a platform to talk to young people. And, when you talk to young people, you have to get their attention. And most of them don't have any attention. You have to keep their attention. And because of number one, not having them, they don't listen. Well, the blessing that Diosito's given me is when I walk onto a campus, I've got everybody's attention. Not Danny Trejo, but the guy from Spy Kids, the guy from Machete, the guy from Desperado, the guy from Blood In, Blood Out. All them kids get in, what he's got to say, what that guy. So, I've been to some of the baddest schools in Los Angeles, and teachers can't get the auditorium quiet. I walk out, and it's simply because of the movies. And so they will listen to what I have to say. That's the blessing that Diosito's given me.
One movie from the 300 and piquito que has hecho. One movie that you would like to remember right now with cariño.
You know what? All of them. I got to say, my two favorite movies of all times are Machete and Heat. Heat, because I got to work with Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer, los meros chingones. I mean, they were the big guys. That made me an actor. That's when I really felt like an actor. But Machete, because I was the lead, and I love to see little kids showing up at my door with a fake mustache dressed as Machete. You know?
Muy bien, Dani. Muchísimas gracias por tu tiempo.
Muchas gracias, gracias. Dios te bendiga and God bless you. Bye bye.
Igualmente y fuertes abrazos para allá.